try to pull us away. But when they see us walk down the street, they ran the other way. Back Street, Atlanta, DA. Back Street in the whole USA. Back Street, nasty and hot. The further down that block you went, the better it got.
Welcome, wrestling fans. Ken Resnick with you here. This is AWA Championship Wrestling. Joining me in the broadcast position, Jesse the Body Ventura, and tonight we've got some of the biggest names here in wrestling, including the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Bockwinkel. Stay with us. Good evening, fans. We're coming to you live from the Showboat Pavilion here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And it is time for the AWA Championship Wrestling. As the Destroyers make their way down to the ring, they are going to be taking on one of the newest tag teams to hit the AWA just 1 week ago, and they took names and left a wake of destruction in their path when they took on the Midnight Rockers, and of course we are talking about the Midnight Express.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, a lot of people may have been surprised by that one. I wasn't so surprised. I was a little surprised to see them show up here, but I was not surprised at what they ended up doing to the Midnight Rockers. As a matter of fact, I'd like to see them do it again.
Well, the Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, not here tonight, but the Destroyers are, and the question now is, how are they going to hold up against the Midnight Express?
Well, I'll say this much right now. If the Rockers couldn't hold up very well against them, I don't know how these two goofballs are going to do it, because they really haven't had a very impressive win-loss record, in my opinion.
We are about to find out, because here they come. Randy Rose and Dennis Condrey, they are the Midnight Express. Again, the Midnight Rockers were not expecting this last week. They had signed an open contract. They said they wanted the Midnight Rockers, that the Midnight Rockers were the reason they came to the AWA. The Rockers signed the contract sight unseen, did not know who their opponents were going to be. But they accepted the challenge, and to everyone's surprise, we saw these two gentlemen step out of the curtain and into the spotlight of the AWA.
Yeah, I think they've really put the AWA Tag Team Division on notice. Last week wasn't just about a win. It was a win over the former Tag Team Champions. It was about a beatdown over the Tag Team Champions. Former Tag Team Champions.
Right now it is Dennis Condrey going up against Destroyer number one. Now choking him out right in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, well, that's what he does. You know, he'll take liberties. He knows he's got a 5-count. Referee's going to put it on him. He'll break the hole. Until then, you might as well do what you can. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. Win if you can. Lose if you must. But always cheat.
Double back body drop now by the Midnight Express. Randy Rose working on the arm. Fans, we've got Verne Gagne here tonight. He's got an announcement to make, and he promises it is going to be huge.
Well, Verne Gagne, of course, running the AWA, and anytime he's got something to say, it makes you want to pay attention, because it could definitely affect the outcome for a lot of guys back there in the locker room.
Tag was made, but that didn't do much good as Dennis Condrey just clotheslined him all the way out to the floor.
I'm really liking this Midnight Express.
Condrey one more time needed a midsection, and it's doing its job. Irish whip sends him into the turnbuckle. He goes, and now Randy Rose waiting patiently for the tag. There it is. And again, the Midnight Express doing the double team. Back elbow.
I'll tell you, the Destroyers really aren't putting up a fight at all here tonight.
Well, we're a long way from the end, or at least I think we are. You never know when it comes to Midnight Express at any moment. You've got to know that Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty are watching, even if they're not here. They are watching this thing on the Nation Network right now, and they're paying close attention. The feud with this team has just begun.
Well, if I'm the Midnight Rockers, I'm taking notes, yeah, but I might be thinking about, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to move on from the AWA, because these two guys right here, I don't think Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty, I don't think those two pretty boys have a chance. These are two men in the ring.
Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty, more than capable of beating any tag team here on the roster. But the same can be said about the Midnight Express. Randy Rose once again takes him into the turnbuckle and once again goes for the double team. There's the tag made, and Dennis Condrey now is going to come in. The Irish whip drop, toe hold, face first down. He goes, elbow drop to the back.
Tag team continuity right there. That's one of the things that will take you over the hump. That'll bring you to the top of the mountain here in the AWA.
Hammering away, forearms. Sledgehammer across the back, and down he goes again. I'll tell you, this has been a one-sided match.
Well, you say it like you're surprised. I mean, we saw what they did a week ago. What did you think was going to happen here tonight? Suddenly they were going to have no talent. They were going to lose to a team like the Destroyers.
Well, the Destroyers maybe don't have the greatest win-loss record, but they are definitely competitive.
You wouldn't know what to look at them here tonight now, would you?
Well, they're definitely not having a good night as we speak right now. From behind, Condry's got him up in the air. What's he going to do? Atomic knee drop, and down goes the Destroyer. Condry continues the beating. Fans, the AWA World Champion Nick Bockwinkel is here tonight. We've also got the AWA debut of a Japanese legend who will make his mark here tonight as well.
So many big names want to be part of the action here in the AWA because they understand that's how you're going to prove how good you are. If you want to prove you're the best, you got to go up against the best. And that's what we've got right here.
Dennis Condry, after that big airplane spin, now waiting on him. He's got it, turns it in. DDT drops him down on his head.
That might be all she wrote right there.
Condry hooks the leg, and that should be all. 3 count, and there are your winners, the Midnight Express.
Well, they made relatively easy work, I'd say.
Well, I'd have to agree with that. Very little challenge to be had in this one. And now look at this. Chasing the referee out of the ring, and now going to work. Look at this. Reminiscent of what they did to the Midnight Rockers a week ago.
Well, you know what? They're just going to do whatever they feel like doing. That's all there is to it. They're going to hand it out, and they're going to make sure that everybody knows that they are the superior team.
Fans, stick around. We've got more action to come, and of course, we're going to be hearing from Verne Gagne in just a moment. All right, wrestling fans, we are back, and we're going to send you right now backstage where the president of the AWA, Verne Gagne, is standing by. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to thank you very much for watching Championship Wrestling here at the AWA. Now, it is no surprise, as anyone who's watched our programming recently knows, that a gentleman by the name of Jerry Lawler, who calls himself the King, has come out here challenging for the AWA World Heavyweight Championship. And it's also no surprise that everybody knows what he has done in recent months to organizations like World Class Championship Wrestling. Well, Mr. Lawler, you're not going to do that here in the AWA. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you're not going to have an opportunity at the World Championship. I'm just making sure you understand you're not going to hold us hostage. With that in mind, I have a major announcement to make, and that is that the next Supercard event for AWA Wrestling will be taking place in 3 weeks' time right here in Las Vegas. And it will be the AWA Gold Rush. I have been in communication with the top promoters in the country, and we are going to be bringing you the biggest names and the championship titles and the matches that you want to see all on one night, one Supercard of wrestling, and it will be a gold rush. As for you, Mr. Lawler, you've come out here claiming you want a return match against Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA Heavyweight Championship. Well, I've got some news for you, sir. Here's what's going to happen. I have contracts signed right here, ready to go. But I want you to be aware there are stipulations because you're not going to repeat in the AWA what you did in World Class. First off, sir, should you actually beat Nick Bockwinkel, and I don't think you will, but if you do, you will be defending that title within 30 days. If you don't, as I mentioned earlier, I sat down with every major promoter in this country, and we have unified behind the principle that if you don't, in the event you become champion, you will be blackballed from every promotion in America. You will not be able to book a match in a high school gymnasium. Furthermore, next week, you will compete in this very ring, and you will defend the World Class Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. And you will be defending it against my son, Verne Gagne. Finally, the main event at Gold Rush will be Nick Bockwinkel against Jerry Lawler. And it will be title versus title. Oh, and Mr. Lawler, one last thing. If you elect not to sign this contract by the end of this week, consider yourself removed from the AWA. You will be barred from any AWA events and arenas throughout the world. You've got a week to make up your mind. It's time to put up or shut up, sir. We'll give you a lot more notice on Gold Rush as the next weeks go by. But guaranteed, AWA versus World Class title will take place in the main event right here in Las Vegas. Well, that's the announcement right there by Verne Gagne. That was huge.
I'll tell you right now, title versus title, that is going to be huge. And I'll tell you, matter of fact, it's got somebody's attention already.
Well, Bockwinkel must have just heard what was said because he's stepping down to the ring. The AWA champion is here. We knew he was in the building. We didn't know what his plans were for the evening, but we may be finding out right now. Well, as everybody just heard, there is a major event just 3 weeks away, and I will be defending the AWA Heavyweight Championship against you, Jerry Lawler. But you're also going to be defending the World Class title. That's something you haven't done in a long time. I wonder if you remember how. So you do a lot of talking, but I haven't seen you do a lot of fighting, and I wonder, well, I don't think you understand what this means. But I do. See, I understand, and I have a level of respect for history. I have honor for titles and understanding of the people that made them what they are. You collect them like they're trinkets to be put on a shelf. Well, I'm going to prove something to you right now, Jerry Lawler. You like to say, I don't defend my title, I don't get out in the ring. Well, I'm going to come out tonight and I'm going to defend the AWA Heavyweight Championship right here on television. And I hope you watch this match very closely, Mr. Lawler, because It's just a small sample of what's going to await you. Title versus title is not a match that happens very often. Two men walk out. Two champions walk in. One walks out. And trust me, when I walk out of Vegas in 3 weeks, I will be the AWA and the world-class champion. Well, you heard from the AWA heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkel. And we're going to see him in action later tonight.
World Championship match here tonight. I can't wait to see that one.
All right, fans, we are back, and now this one is for the America's Heavyweight Championship as we see the champion, King Bundy, in the ring against Jake the Milkman Milliman. Introductions already done during the break, and now the two men locking up in the middle of the ring. It is King Bundy, the heavy favorite in this one, pardon the pun.
Well, I tell you right now, King Bundy, when you want to talk about the heavy favorite, he's the heavy anything. I don't know how Jake the Milkman Milliman thinks he's going to move this guy without a forklift.
Well, Jake Milliman, not exactly a small guy in his own right, as he gets Bundy with a big back elbow. Shocking the world right there, I think. Nobody expecting to see much in the way of offense out of him in a match like this, but thus far, he's been doing pretty well for himself.
Well, thus far, all he's done is pissed off one of the biggest men in professional wrestling, definitely on the AWA roster, and I think he's going to pay the price for that one.
Bundy now rolls him over. What's he got in mind here? Tremendous elbow drop by King Bundy.
I don't like the chances for Jake the Milkman Milliman right now.
I don't either, as he is sent to the ropes. Back out front he goes. Back elbow. Bundy has him up. Oh, what a tremendous slam by King Bundy.
Goes for the cover, and now wait a minute, Bundy's gonna let him back up. I told you he made a mistake.
Now King Bundy choking him out. Referee standing by helplessly. He's not going to be able to do much to control Bundy. If he wants to do this, he's going to. Another Irish whip to the ropes. He goes back elbow, both men standing tall. And now it is Bundy with the advantage again. Milliman into the corner, and Bundy got caught coming in.
Well, give credit where credit is due, I suppose, but I still can't believe that Jake the Milkman Milliman is even on his feet right now.
Smart move right there by Milliman, going to work on the leg of Bundy. If he can make him a one-legged wrestler, that gives Milliman a much better chance in this one. Going for a suplex, that's nearly 400 pounds. What was he thinking?
Well, that time he was actually smart. I can't believe I'm saying it, but he used the momentum of Bundy, the forward momentum of Bundy. against him.
Another tremendous move right there by King Kong Bundy. Choking Milliman out again. Bundy hits the ropes, comes splashing down, and I think it's all over.
No doubt about it, nobody gets up from the big splash of King Kong Bundy.
Near 400 pounds of King Kong Bundy coming crashing down on Jake Milliman. Somewhat surprising to see a sign of sportsmanship after this one. More surprising to see him standing up.
Well, instead of the milkman, they're going to have to start calling him No-Cell Milliman.
We'll be back with more right after this. All right, fans, here we've got it. Masa Saito making his AWA in-ring debut.
Well, Masa Saito, we saw him not too long ago when the AWA went to Japan. He was half of the IWGP Tag Team Champions at that time. The High Flyers ended up upsetting them, taking the tag team titles away at that point.
Well, I think while Saito was here, he ended up getting a look around the talent, decided he wanted to try his luck. One thing about Masa Saito, we can tell you for a fact, is he is one big, bad, tough, strong man. Fabiano's in the ring with him now, and he's going to find out just how much this man has to offer. I don't know that Lou Fabiano's ever made it overseas to Japan, but it is a different style of wrestling.
Yeah, no doubt about it, but the fans are different too, and I'd say that only to, not like Saito cares if the fans cheer for him or not, because they probably don't cheer for him a whole lot over there either. But the fans over there are generally much more laid back and demure, where over here, he might have to get used to dealing with some boos and things that he's not used to in the way of reactions, but I don't think it'll be a big problem for him, because I don't think he cares.
I would be surprised, to be honest with you, as he's really just systematically targeting Lou Fabiano. Look at this overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Fabiano goes halfway across the ring. And now Saito's got him up. Airplane spin, and now he drops him face first.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, this guy, he is the real deal. And if he's going to be here competing, then everybody, and I mean everybody, better be paying close attention.
Bonsai dropping down, he goes. He hooks the leg, and I believe that'll be all for Mr. Fabiano.
Yeah, that's got to be it. Well, that's a very impressive debut. I'm not going to say he went up against the toughest competitors we have here in the AWA. But at the same time, he came out and he made a very strong statement.
Will there be more sportsmanship right here? Fabiano accepts the handshake. of Mr. Saito. Fans, stay with us. We've got more action still to come. Okay, fans, we are back, and look at this. We are joined by Jerry Lawler, and he doesn't look too happy.
I don't know that he doesn't look too happy. I mean, he's here. He's trying to get the fans up and show some respect, which they should be doing anyway.
You people don't seem to understand something. 24 hours ago, there was a pretty big royal event that took place. But I'm here to tell you, it is going to pale in comparison to what takes place here in Las Vegas in 3 weeks' time as part of Gold Rush. Now, Verne Gagne, I'm not sure if you know who you're talking to, but I'm Jerry the King Lawler. I don't call myself king. All these morons at ringside here, they're the ones that call me king. The ring announcer, as I make my way down every single night, is the one who calls me king. And that's a title that you will never be able to take from me. Just like the title I wear around my waist right now every night. World Class Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. You think you scare me by putting me in a title versus title match? You try to blackball me if I don't accept? I'm going to tell you something right now. I will fight Nick Bockwinkel any place, anywhere, anytime for free. And I'm going to tell everyone in this building and everyone listening on the Nation Network right now, if you're going to be in Las Vegas in 3 weeks' time, buy your tickets because history will be made. Because I will become the AWA Heavyweight Champion. And that will be the last time you ever see Nick Bockwinkel step foot in the ring. Well, there it is, Jerry Lawler. All right, wrestling fans, we are back, and this is going to be one of the big matches of the night. Making his way down to the ring, jumping Jim Brunzell, one half of the High Flyers.
Well, you talk about one half of the High Flyers, and right now, seems like these two guys, all they're doing is singles matches, so I don't know if they've given up the GOAT for the tag team belts or not, but next week we know Verne Gagne is going to be one-on-one with Jerry the King Lawler for the World-Class Heavyweight Championship right here on AWA Wrestling.
Well, both men have been successful as singles wrestlers as well as tag team wrestlers. But jumping Jim Brunzell, I'll tell you right now, I don't know that he's ever faced the challenge, the type of that he's going to be facing here tonight.
No, I don't believe he has. And I've got it on really good authority that the reason that Trump Hulk Hogan hightailed it out of the AWA is because he didn't want to deal with this man anymore.
Well, we're taking a look at Stan the Lariat Hansen. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but Stan Hansen is indeed a force to be reckoned with. From Borger, Texas, over 300 pounds.
Tell you right now, I would never want to get in the ring with that guy. He is just one of the most ornery guys you will ever, and I do mean ever, step across the ring from. And I don't think jumping Jim Brunzell with his pretty boy looks have a chance in hell.
Fans still to come, the AWA champion Nick Bockwinkel will be in action defending that title. And apparently it is handshake night here in Las Vegas.
Wow, beam me up, Scotty. The hell happened there?
Well, we call that the 2K glitch. And as 2K19 is on the horizon, we look forward to all new glitches being revealed.
You think they could actually come up with more?
Well, if anybody could, it would be them. And fans, for all of your WWE 2K19 news as it becomes available, stop back here and we will have it for you. Jumping Jim Brunzell now fighting his way back up to his feet.
Well, I think Brunzell's making a big mistake if he thinks he's going to trade punches with Stan Hansen. It's not going to work. Stan the Lariat Hansen, this is a Texas tough guy, and I'll tell you right now, this is the kind of guy you don't get into brawls with. Jumping Jim Brunzell better live up to his name and start getting airborne or something, because if he goes toe-to-toe with this man, he's going to go out in a meat wagon.
And now Stan the Lariat Hansen has got him. Face first, plants him into the center of the ring. Brunzell might not be the same after that one.
No, he's really doing a number on jumping Jim Brunzell right now. Look at him. Turning him inside out. And you know Stan the Lariat Hansen is going to want to be a part of the Gold Rush.
Well, what title do you think he'd be going after?
Pretty much any title he wants other than the AWA World title, I suppose, since we've now got that spoken for. Hey, but maybe somehow by some fluke, Verne Gagne walks out as the world-class champion next week, and then maybe he goes after him for that title. He's got Texas heritage. He wants to take that title.
Oh, that was it right there. The big lariat clothesline, and that might be it.
That is it. Nobody gets up from that.
Well, jumping Jim Brunzell somehow managing to get his shoulder off the mat.
I'll tell you right now, I am absolutely stunned. I didn't think there would be a chance in the world that jumping Jim Brunzell would be able to get his shoulders up after that one. But he doesn't know what time it is, doesn't know what day of the week it is, and I'm willing to bet he doesn't even know what state he's in.
Stan the Lariat Hansen continues the attack as he drops him. Throat first across the top rope. Jumping Jim Brunzell is in trouble. Planting that boot right in the midsection.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at him hammering down on the head of the pretty boy, and now he's busted him open.
The blood starting to flow down the forehead of Jim Brunzell, fighting his way back up to his feet again, but how much more can he take?
He got him up, but he couldn't hold him. Again, jumping Jim Brunzell is fighting on instinct at this point in time.
German suplex. Tremendous elbow drop, and Brunzell is absolutely devastated.
Well, you have to figure right now, this match is over.
He's got the count of 2. Brunzell is up, but he does not look good. Blood streaming down the face of jumping Jim Brunzell. He manages once again.
No, he doesn't manage anything. Look at this. Stan Hansen is in complete control. He's manhandling him.
The lariat, Stan Hansen continues the punishment on Jim Brunzell. We talked about the high flyers, a little bit more of this, and there won't be anything left. Again with a lariat.
If he kicks out of this one, I'll retire from broadcasting.
Well, it's safe to say you're sticking around because that was it. Most impressive victory in jumping Jim Brunzell is not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, I don't know that anybody's really in the class of Stan the Lariat Hansen. You know, jumping Jim Brunzell had a hell of a run a few months back there, went all the way through the title tournament to get that opportunity at the World Championship when Rick Martel held it. Came up just short of being the world champion at one point in time, but oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Well, you just saw it again, that lariat clothesline that has absolutely knocked out many opponents in the past. You mentioned earlier the likes of Hulk Hogan, who we have not seen here in the AWA in many weeks.
That you won't see in the AWA. He's gone. I told you. He hightailed it out of here. He didn't want to deal with any more of the lariats.
Fans, stay with us. We've got our main event coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event, and it is for the AWA Heavyweight Championship. The challenger making his way down the ring. That is Baron von Raschke, joined by Sheik Adnan El-Casey.
Well, he's a representative of the Allied Powers, but I'll tell you something, you know, he's gone through a lot of fights recently with Sergeant Slaughter and the Cobra Corps, and you just have to wonder if he's really at 100%, but if he is, then we might very well have a brand new World Heavyweight Champion here tonight. And what does that do for the Gold Rush?
Fans, while we were on commercial break, I understand we had some people in the back, one of which was Mean Gene, and he got to us to say that Jerry Lawler and Verne Gagne had a little bit of a run-in with each other. Lawler has not signed the contract, and he has to do it by next week, or else he will be barred from all AWA venues and events.
Well, he's got a week to make up his mind, but you know what? You want to have your attorneys looking at stuff like that. You don't just sign a contract like that, especially when Vern Gagne is the one putting it together, because you never know what he'll slip in there.
Well, I've always found Verne Gagne to be a very honorable man.
Of course you would. For the rest of us, we don't trust him as far as we can throw him, which is not very far.
Well, there he is, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Bockwinkel, accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Well, of course, he is the flagship of the Heenan family right there. Nick Bockwinkel, his normal cohorts that you would see coming up here with him, other family members, Ray the Crippler Stevens and Ken Patera.
Well, both of those men are not in attendance here tonight, but to your point, normally would be. Fans, next week our main event will be Jerry the King Lawler going up against Greg Gagne, and the world-class heavyweight championship is going to be on the line.
Well, we don't know that for a fact now, do we? If he doesn't sign the contract, then guess what? No, it won't be on the line. We'll find out.
I have a very strong feeling that Jerry Lawler is going to be forced to sign that contract, whether he wants to or not.
Well, we'll find out, because I'll tell you, when you're the king, you can make a lot of things happen.
It is not every week here on television that the AWA World Champion defends his title, but we've got that as our main event here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, Baron von Raschke, this is a man who, given half an opportunity, could become the next AWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he's just been given half an opportunity. Now the question is, what's he going to do with it?
And there is the reigning AWA champion, Nick Bockwinkel, Bobby the Brain Heenan in his corner. Now, it is my understanding that they have already signed this contract.
Well, you can sign him whatever you want. It takes two parties to create a contract, not just one. There's no mutual agreement if only one person's in agreement.
Nick Bockwinkel said to Jerry Lawler to pay close attention to this match because he is going to make a statement with it. All right, bell sounds, action's underway.
Wow, big shoulder tackle right off the bat by Nick Bockwinkel. Wasted no time at all going to work on Baron von Raschke.
Sheik out on LKC. Ringside now trying to cheer his man on, but thus far that hasn't done anything.
Well, Bobby the Brain Heenan seems to be pretty happy with the way things have started out here.
And now choking him out.
Yep, right in front of the referee. Referee, of course, doing nothing about it. Maybe next year. Maybe they'll come up with a 5 count or something.
Knee to the midsection. Now Sheik out on LKC. Up on the apron, distracting the champion.
Well, as the champion, I would expect him to do better than that. I would think he would know better than that.
Nick Bockwinkel back into the ring he goes. And again with a shoulder tackle. Driving the head of Baron von Raschke all the way back, and now goes for the cover, gets one.
Yeah, I didn't see the referee's hand hit the mat once even.
Now it is Nick Bockwinkel going to go for the suplex here, and he's got him.
Well, I got to give it to him right now. Nick Bockwinkel doing a really good job. And again, Baron von Raschke, he's been involved in some pretty physical matches lately with the Cobra Car, Sergeant Slaughter, Corporal Kirshner, and Big Scott Hall. But not to make excuses, you know, we haven't seen a lot of Nick Bockwinkel in ring.
Well, once again, the distraction taking place. Sheik out on LKC. Distracting the champion, and again, he gets dumped on the back of his head. And now Baron von Raschke taking advantage of this opportunity.
You know, the thing that's amazing me right now is some of these fans actually starting to cheer Nick Bockwinkel. When the hell did that happen?
Well, I think they know that there is the threat of Jerry Lawler holding the AWA hostage if he finds a way to win that title. Big move right there, knee, sending him crashing to the concrete floor.
Wow, big drop kick right there on the floor by Nick Bockwinkel, and down goes the challenger again.
Bockwinkel's got the challenger, and now what's he going to do? Puts him into the ropes. Going to work on the leg.
I want to send a shout out to Noble Hayes watching on the Nation Network.
Once again, distraction taking place. Baron von Raschke going to work on the arm.
Well, that was a mistake right there. How do you turn your back on the champion of the world? Especially, oh, wait a minute. We've got a steel chair now in the ring.
Bockwinkel from behind, and Baron von Raschke just went face first into the steel.
Referee's going to have to try and take this thing out of control if he can.
Sleeper hold. He's got him. Bockwinkel with that sleeper. Will that be enough?
Baron von Raschke trying desperately to get out of it, and he does. He's got to get a move of his own. He's got his own submission move. If he can put that German claw hold on him, then we might see a new champion right here tonight.
And the Baron now working on the head and the neck of Nick Bockwinkel. Irish whip reversed, and Bockwinkel sending him in. Wait a minute, what is Nick Bockwinkel going to do? He's got that steel chair.
Question really is, what is the referee going to do?
Bockwinkel just went in. And now look at this, distracting the referee.
Side slam, and the champion is in trouble. Bobby the Brain Heenan might have to get involved in this thing and do something here.
Hip toss takes the champion down.
Comes right back with that nice cross ankle sweep, and now what's he gonna do here?
Nick Bockwinkel's got the leg. Oh, he's gonna go for the figure four leg lock, and he's got it. He cinches it up. Baron von Raschke's in trouble.
And the Baron manages to get out of it at the last moment, but how much damage was done?
This crowd on its feet here in Las Vegas, Nevada. What's it gonna be like in 3 weeks' time? Baron von Raschke now choking out the champion. And now look at this. He's got the sleeper hold on Nick Bockwinkel.
Trying to beat him with his own hold. I gotta tell you, I love that. That is a nice idea right there. And look at Baron von Raschke with a big opportunity here to become the next heavyweight champion.
But he doesn't get it done. Von Raschke sizing him up. He's got him up in the air. Look at the reversal right there by Nick Bockwinkel. And he goes for the cover. Will it be enough?
No, he only got 2 that time.
Standing drop kick, and now Nick Bockwinkel. He's got him. Pile driver. If he hits it, it could be over.
Wow, tremendous pile driver right there by Nick Bockwinkel, and I believe that is it.
He hooks the leg. He gets 2. And again, Von Raschke somehow manages to kick out.
Well, Nick Bockwinkel having a hard time believing it, but it happened.
And again, the sleeper hold is on. This time right in the center of the ring.
Well, I think Von Raschke is in trouble. I think he's going to be in all kinds of trouble. I don't know how he's going to survive this one.
He doesn't. He's out. And just like that, the AWA champion, Nick Bockwinkel, victorious.
Well, if Jerry the King Lawler is watching, and I guarantee you he's back there watching, he'd better beware of that sleeper hold, because if Bockwinkel gets him in it, that will be all for the King and for the world-class heavyweight championship.
Fans, we take a look back at some of the action from this one. That big move right there, reversing, and that set up this pile driver.
Well, the pile driver, I believe, really was the devastating blow. And then the sleeper hold, there was just no way for Baron von Raschke to get out of that one.
What's it gonna be like in 3 weeks' time when we are back here in Vegas for the Gold Rush? There is the world champion, Nick Bockwinkel.
Oh, wait a minute. What's he going to do here?
Nick Bockwinkel, wait a minute. He's got that belt. Driving it. Driving it down. Baron von Raschke is in trouble. And now Bockwinkel setting him up for a pile driver. Oh, he pile drives him on the belt.
He's not going to get up from that one, I don't think.
Von Raschke slow to his feet. Von Raschke is in trouble, and there it is. The sleeper hold again on Baron von Raschke. Fans, we are out of time. We will see you next week for more AWA wrestling action.